There are two special cases when you solve a system of equation. The first case is no solution. The second case is many solution. So in this video, I gave you three systems. Two of them has no solution and one of them has many solutions. The method that I use to find out the answer is using graphs. So the technology that I use is called Desmos, D-E-S-M-O-S. So it's completely free. I always encourage my students to use Desmos because it's free, very easy to use. You can download the app, you can look it up on Google, you can either do it on your computer, your tablet, or on your phone. All right, so use Desmos. So I create three graphs. So the first system is we have the first equation is y equals to x plus 1, and then the second equation in blue is y equals to x minus 2. Here is the graph. The first equation and the second equation, they have the same slope. So what is the slope? The slope is equals to 1. So when two straight lines have the same slope, so what does that mean? That means these two lines are parallel. So we have two parallel lines. So two parallel lines means it doesn't matter how long you extend the line, they will never intersect. So since they never intersect, there are no intersections, so therefore the first system has no solution. So when you try to solve this system, you will not get a solution. So the first system has no solution because they are two parallel lines. And then the second equation, they are not linear, they are two parabolas. The parabola in red is x squared, and then the parabola in blue is negative x squared minus 1. One is facing up, the other one is facing down. They never intersect. So there are no intersections. As a result, this system has no solutions. And then the last system, I have y equals to x plus 1, which is the dashed line. I use dashed line, so that is y equals to x plus 1. And then the orange line, I know the orange line is very bold. I use a decimal to make that bold. And then this one is 3y equals to 3x plus 3. So actually, these two equations are exactly the same. So for the second equation, when you divide both sides by 3, so you have 3y becomes a y, 3x plus 3 divided by 3, so that they both share the 3x over 3 plus 3 over 3, so you have x plus 1, the slope is equals to 1, the y-intercept is at 0, 1. So right over here, the y-intercept is at 0, 1. So basically equation 1 and 2, they are the same line, so we have two overlapping lines, and sometimes people call these two lines are dependent. So they are dependent. They are exactly the same, they just don't look the same, but when you graph them, they are exactly the same. So they are exactly the same. That means as long as you find one solution for the first line, so let's say 0, 1, so as long as you find a point on the purple line, then that point guarantee fits the second equation. So in this case, this system has many solutions. So remember I said that I use Desmos to do the graph. So Desmos is extremely convenient. So look at these functions. So y equals to equations, y equals to x squared, y equals to negative x squared plus 1. I make this convenient because I wrote the equation as y in terms of x, but sometimes on one side you have some x squared, x to the third power, y squared, y to the third power. The problem will not present it in a way where y is in terms of x. Once again, sometimes the equation is not presented in a way where y equals to some x. So for example, you might have x squared plus x to the third minus y to the third minus y squared plus y equals to 1. So in that case, you will have to write y equals in terms of x. That is extremely difficult. So when you not able to write the equation as y in terms of x, you cannot use your graphing calculator to do it. So in that case, you only use Desmos. So the comparison between Desmos and TI-84 graphing calculator is Desmos always works. So whatever you see from the problem, just type it to Desmos and then you will get the graph for sure. But when you use a TI-84 Plus, you have to present the equation in y in terms of x. So y equals to some x. you have to do that in your graphing calculator. And then what else do you need to know? So for the last problems, how do you make the orange line bold, and then how do you make a dashed line is simple. On decimal, and then on the left hand side, the place where you input the function, there is a gear icon. So when you click on the gear icon, you can select a color for the curve. So when you select a color, you see that the curve can be a straight line, can be a dotted line, can be a broken line or dashed line. So you can select either one of those, and then you can select the 2.5, 3.5. So if you put a very large number like 10.5, you will just make the line really, really bold. So the reason I make the orange line bold is because I want you to see it that they are two overlapping lines. Because if I use a regular orange line, the orange line will just be on top of the dashed line. It is very hard to see. So that is the benefit of using decimal. You can do a lot of stuff. It's easy to use, but when you do this on your TI-84 Plus graphing calculator, you don't have a lot of choices. Alright, so that is the end of this video. In the next video, I will show you how to solve a system of equations using TI-84 Plus CE. Alright? If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, give my channel a subscribe, and I will meet you all in the next video. See you there.